Hello and welcome to Autograzers, a podcast where three so-called car experts compete to find me the best car for the task I set. Unfortunately for them, I know zero about cars. Today I say expecto petroleum as I fill my enchanted muggle car and fly us into the world of Hogwarts. I'm sure today's podcast promises to be magical, all except for the inevitable jokes about getting your wand out in public. Joining me today from Gryffindor is our wizard Duncan.
Hello, I'm Duncan, and I won 10,000 points for Gryffindor by doing absolutely nothing with my car this week.
And from the Slitheryn house is George.
I decided I'd drive through a bus lane. That's the kind of sneaky thing I'd do.
Sneaky Slitheryn.
No Slitheryn shits, that's all you do.
Exactly. So I'm sure Oxford City Council will be sure to issue me with a suitable demerits anytime soon.
No, I bet you bloody magic that speed camera as well, didn't you? So you get tracked by it.
I'll let you know in 2 weeks.
No.
Well, while our sneaky Slytherin waits for his fine, from Ravenclaw is our wizard John.
Hello, I'm John, and this week I took delivery of a spare rear subframe to strip and recondition.
I don't know what any of that means.
Ravenclaw's practical.
Probably because I'm from Hufflepuff, and Hufflepuff is the equivalent of the phrase, well, you tried your best.
Oh, come on.
And my name is Tom, and this is Autograzers.
Yay! That was good work there. I was curious as to who you were going to give us, because according to, what was it, Potterpedia or whatever it is, I am actually a Ravenclaw.
Are you? Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I've got to be honest, out of the four of us, I think you've called that completely accurately.
Thank you. I'm glad that you said that after I announced I'm from Hufflepuff. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Excellent job.
Might be a bit biased against you
Hey,
in terms
you used
of
to let
giving
me
out points.
You used to let me copy your maths homework, so shut up.
Look, I'm good at finding things. That's all I've got, okay?
Is that how you ended up with your wand out in the public?
Yeah, we knew that joke was coming. So, good news, everyone. You've all been accepted into Hogwarts.
Yay!
You might be a bit old, but you're going in nonetheless.
It's 19 years too late.
Well, yeah. Bad news is, it's all right, because if any of the kids bully us, we can just, shove them over, because we're big now. Kick them in the nuts. It's fine.
Yeah.
So
Let's be honest, that you bitch.
take that, Slytherin. But basically, we've been accepted into Hogwarts, but bad news is we've missed the train on the platform 9 3/4. So we need to find a muggle car from Auto Trader and enchant it so that we can fly over to Hogwarts. Very much like a certain scene that happens in the second book / film. So I would like you to find me that muggle car for us to enchant. My main stipulation, I mean, I'm assuming that if it can go fast in real life, it can probably fly fast to Hogwarts when we enchant it. So speed is one thing, but really I'm looking for a car that kind of reflects the whole Hogwarts deal. So it's got to be eccentric, it's got to be a little bit absurd. So
Incredibly dangerous.
Incredibly dangerous, yeah.
Would get shut down if it was a real school.
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head there, Duncan. So I was going to say, in terms of budget, I've got my friend Harry's credit card to his Gringott's vault. So that's 50,625 galleons, which roughly translates, according to an actual website that translates galleons into real currency, we have £249,581.25. So almost the sky's the limit, really. But yeah, wow. No more than 250 grand, please. So go nuts. And yeah, find us a quirky, eccentric, magical, possibly fast car that we can make fly. We make fly. Go.
Well, that Koenigsegg's 3 million. That's a little out of budget, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you've got to kind of, when you find your car, you do have to make your case why it is a suitable car to fly into Hogwarts. Part of me kind of wants to say that we're new to Hogwarts, so we want to kind of show off how cool and eccentric and fancy we are. But it's got to be quirky, eccentric. But yeah, so are you all going to try and max out on the budget then?
Oh, we've got budget to play with for the first
Yeah.
time. It's
There's no point.
Probably not. Probably come well under.
Yeah, I'm struggling to go over that, to be honest, or anywhere near that.
That's good.
really,
So
my
I think,
first choice was £3.2 million.
I mean, I think maybe Gringott's do an overdraft system, so we could try it, but I think Harry needs to afford food as well and stuff.
I do need to ask though, being as magical as we are, why don't we just pretend, use magic to tell the people that we paid them, or that they just want to give us the car for free because
But
Well,
that's naughty.
That's Jedi mind trick, and we're not allowed to do that because we're new to Hogwarts. We'll lose our magic license or whatever it is when when Harry does magic outside of Hogwarts.
That is a good point, because you if you, I can't remember what department it is that comes in. It's been quite a long time since I've had
Department
anything.
of Magical something or other.
Shittiness, miscreants. They come and attack you, don't they? Or they take you under arrest. But didn't Harry defend himself against something outside of school hours, and he had a big hearing and everything at the Ministry of Magic?
Funnily enough, I think, was it in the Chamber of Secrets? Dobby the house elf, kind of does shenanigans, and they think it's Harry. And
Possibly.
they send an owl in to give him a warning. Let me look it up.
I don't know.
Who is? I'm going to Google it.
Okay, I've got mine. I might have a quick look, actually, just see if something that I do want is on here, but I don't think.
Have a quick look. While you're doing that, I will also ask you guys, do you remember which car it was that flew in the Chamber of Secrets?
Oh, yes.
Ford Anglia?
Yeah.
Correct. Ford Anglia 105E, 1966. Power, Baby Blue, 997 cc. Max speed of 76 miles per hour, apparently.
That'll be a terrifying 76 miles an hour as well.
Yeah. It looks, doesn't look the steadiest car. Department of Magical. It's Department of Magical something. I can't look up. Somebody leave it in a comment somewhere.
250.
So, have you found it already then, Duncan? Are you just double checking some stuff?
I found one, but I just want to double check and see if the other one that I would want is available. I don't think it is, unfortunately. God, I'm on page 4, and I've not gone under £300,000 yet. So that's the kind of cars I'm looking at right now.
Oh, we got loads of money.
Why didn't you just set the limit at 250?
Because that means I've got to click more things, John. I can't be arsed with that. I'll just go through the pages.
You're not doing much for selling Auto Traders UI, are you?
Yeah, but it's crap, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It does make me laugh. The other week, I set the budget to £1,000, and then I'm getting £2 million sports cars being advertised. This week, I'm at 100 to 250 grand, and every sponsored one. I've got here a Renault Clio 1.2.
Yeah, it's like £4,000. It's this is not obviously what I'm looking for. What's wrong with you?
We must be ruining their search algorithms when they're looking at it, going so what did that user look at next?
That's all I can hope, really.
I imagine from one of our previous episodes, they're 3 people looked at the Ford Fiesta. You best want this one. So,
That's a bit of an out there choice.
George, what's your sort of thinking? What are you going for? Are you going for eccentricity first?
So I've gone for a bit of eccentricity, I've gone for lots of performance, and importantly, I've gone for very lightweight because you need it to fly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point.
And it's really cool. And I have to confess, my interest in what I've been chosen has just been piqued because a £10,000 example has been flagged to my attention in the past 30 seconds. And it looks a proper buy cheap, sink a house worth of mortgage into it, and it's still fucked at the end.
Come on then, whip it out.
Not now, please. No, I've just
Not
had
the
my
time,
dinner.
not the time.
Oh, George.
Yeah. It's a bit of a dull colour for one of these, but it's a very nice colour.
Oh, wow.
I present to you the TVR Cerbera. Now, TVR are one of the more iconic British sports car manufacturers, not always for good reasons. Have owned one. I used to have
iconic, also notorious.
Yeah, notorious. I mean, they're essentially kit cars, but built by people who really didn't give one in a shed in Blackpool. What they have in their favour, though, is normally they don't weigh very much. They have inappropriately large engines, utter dearth of any safety features, and are really fast. So they have quite a cult following, and the Cerbera is arguably the mightiest of all. This thing has I don't know, is it maybe 350 horsepower? Or was a Cerbera more than that?
Well, the sporty version, that was 1,000, wasn't it?
It claims, oh yeah, that one-off nut job one. So yeah, it claims 420 horsepower. I don't know how accurate that is in something that weighs about a ton. So it's very fast, very light. It will definitely fly. And even better if you crash it in a lake. The body's made of fiberglass, so it's effectively a big canoe. So it'll float too.
Flip it upside down.
Okay. Chances are the Whomping Willow will get to it first, but yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't survive an encounter with a Whomping Willow in this thing because it's 50-50 whether it will start in the morning. Apparently, when they're well looked after, they're actually, having owned one, they're not one of these. They're still temperamental as anything. I only really got mine working properly the week before I sold it. I had the embarrassment of when I was selling it, it broke down on the test drive. We got about 300 metres from my parents' house and the thing conked out heading up the hill. And the bloke kindly declined to take it any further.
Well, I like it. And so what, was that 3.9 second 0 to 60 speed? Did I see that right? Yeah. That's pretty good. And 170 miles top speed. Yeah, I like it. I quite like the color anyway. Like, it's kind of a midnight blue, royal blue.
It's quite a handsome color, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a handsome car, but a handsome color.
We might have to enchant it so that more people can fit in, because it's only got 2 Dumbledores. So we'll need to change that a little bit. Either that or a lap situation.
Let's not go back to the laps thing, please.
Like
but
I
if you want
say,
you're getting your wand out.
Yeah.
Way. I'm so sorry, everyone.
That's my wand.
If you'd like to share, Duncan, the other end of the market, I've just sent you the other link, which is that lovely blue one's one end of the market, and I've just sent over the other end, which.
Oh God.
That's an unhelpful format.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can. There we go. That's better.
Oh wow, that's bright.
Oh, it's only a Marlboro.
Right.
Oh dear.
The
It appears to be
that's not the worst
decaying.
bit. It does appear to be decaying. Photos underneath. Nice interior.
Oh, that's mold.
That's normal.
Oh yeah.
Bit rusty.
That's probably savable.
Hey, outriggers are.
Part of its charm.
If I had the money, I'd still buy it.
Right, well, George, I liked your TVR. How do you pronounce it again? Cerbera. I wrote it down wrong. That's why. Cerbera.
With some Blackpool, isn't it? So it's Cerbera,
as they say.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
I'm ready. Go on. Let's chuck mine across. So George has chosen a British manufacturer with an iffy history. I've chosen a British manufacturer with a good history. Aston Martin
Wow.
DBS. Look at this. So £240,000. So I'm still within budget, but only just. And this has been fettled, but I think this has been fettled in a very tasteful manner, mostly. If you ignore the room it's in, of course. So this is the DBS V12 with bi-turbo. I did think about going for a Volante, so the convertible one, but I thought if we're flying, a convertible is probably not a good idea. There's a reason they moved away from convertible biplanes in the First World War to,
Get
cockpits.
rid of those tyres, and that is a beautiful, beautiful machine.
Yeah, those tyres are nasty, but that is they've matted out, they've matte blacked the exhausts and stuff like that as well. Oh, I mean, look at it. Oh,
I have to say I like that.
That's beautiful.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
My only problem with it is it looks a bit like a bad guy car, like a Voldemort Slitherin-y kind of look. When you look at it from the front on, it looks like a snake.
Oh, doesn't it just? It just looks villainous. It looks awesome. I would, of course, say that.
No, I think this is an absolutely beautiful car. I think the fact that you have black
marble
caps, they're to do with witchcraft and wizardry, aren't they? So why not have a black DBS?
That's true. Sorry, Duncan. I got momentarily distracted because there's like a marble effect interior when you open the door.
I'm not really sure what that is. I think it might just be like suede.
Okay.
Oh, it's got tag her. Tag her.
Or can we just go back a couple? That's a really weird.
Yeah, it's like marble effect, isn't it?
Yeah, marble effect on the interior. That's an interesting choice.
It's a bit odd.
But it's eccentric. That's what we wanted.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean,
what's the performance?
Here we go. So, you're impressed by George's car. So if we just pop down to specs here quickly. So 3.4 seconds to 60. It's a bi-turbo V12, so it's not a slouch. It's got a top speed of 211 miles per hour. It has 715 brake horsepower and all of 663 foot-pounds of torque. So yeah, it's a little bit slow. I can't think of any more car that you would want. I do hear from a driving test and so on that cars, these newer Astons are not quite as good as driving as the older ones were, but it doesn't really matter when it looks like that, does it?
I've never driven the old one, so that makes no difference to me.
Yeah, exactly.
How many seats has it got?
Yeah, there are 2.
Okay. Again, more enchanting needed.
Well, you never said that we have to have a 4-seater.
No, well, we can enchant it. It's fine. The what was it?
You can expand.
The Ford Anglia could fit, what was it, like 10 people, 6 trunks, 2 hours, and a rat comfortably.
Oh, this is a good point, yeah. I didn't think
we can do the same with this.
Yeah, fix it with magic.
Just fix it with magic, it's fine.
Fix it with magic, it's fine. Just wave your hand, it's fine.
Great, good choice, Duncan. Very sleek, very sexy. Let's see, and the car's good too. John, let's have a look at your choice.
That means I have to make a decision. We'll go with that one. Yeah, I was torn between several, but I figured that this.
Oh wow!
Oh.
So much the same as Duncan's previous choice, but except for this one actually has 4 doors, 4 seats, and some space in the trunk for trunks. As if we're going to Hogwarts, it's all well and good turning up, but if we've got no clothes to put on, that ain't gonna fly.
I like your no pun intended, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was purely accidental. But yeah, Aston Martin, classic. There's not a huge amount of these about because they're a 4-seater, which
like we've all gone
some
British.
people find a bit bizarre.
That's interesting.
Well, the Ford Anglia is a British make, I want to say.
Well, Ford, yeah, it was built in...
Ford
is American, but it was built in Dagenham, the Anglia, so yes, kind of.
I was also tempted by a Bentley Continental Super Sport.
I did think about old Bentley Arnage or something like that, but I couldn't find a decent one.
I found this one. But yeah, so its specs It's not quite as rapid as Duncan's, but it's again not a slouch. 4.4 seconds to 62. 600 horsepower, top speed 205.
Mhm.
It's gonna shift. You've got 4 seats, so you can slap some friends in there if you're feeling
You
generous.
shouldn't be slapping your friends in the car.
Well, if they're being rowdy, then sometimes
I'm
you've
going
got
to
to.
turn this car around, and none of us will go to Winnipeg.
But yeah, it should be plenty sporty enough. It's got wings on it, as you can see. And space for everything.
The color makes it. Oh, there's cup holders in the middle for the back seats. That's good. The color makes it look very James Bondy, given that it's an Aston Martin.
Yep. And who doesn't want that?
Cool
I was
grey.
eyeing up a BMW. Was it Z4?
Therefore,
Z4. Yeah, I was eyeing up one of those as well. But then I was like, "There's no seats and there's no boot space." I've just sent you my what I was tossing and turning between with Duncan. If you want to flag that one up, as that Bentley's quite nice as well.
That's your.
But that is my
locked-in
choice. Yeah.
here's John's toss.
But I thought this might
Excuse
look a
me?
bit more like a bad guy's car.
Bentleys are definitely a bad person's car, aren't they?
I mean, I feel kind of bad, like with Duncan saying that it looks like a bad guy's car, because if George is Slitherin, then we should respect that he is going to be inherently a bad guy, but we should still accept him as our friend. So I won't rule out a car if it looks too Slitherin-y. There must be some good Slytherins out there.
Then that blacked out Aston Martin looked fabulous.
I mean,
Just
imagine waking up every
just
morning
look
and looking out on your drive and just seeing that. I mean,
the only problem with black as cars is black cars look amazing when they're in the showroom all polished. As soon as you take them outside and they get a little bit dirty, they just look meh.
Yeah.
As a black
Mine
car
looks
owner,
clean.
I confirm that.
Yep. Me too.
So
Mine.
can I have a look at all 3 choices again? So we've got George's TVR Subera, which looks really fancy. I feel
love
like
the fancy number plate hider that they've used there.
Yeah,
that's
good.
The cloth.
It suggests they don't want you to see the MOT history.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's this is exactly, like, this is a problem I have with car adverts. You're trying to sell your car, you're trying to get people to look at it and buy it. Why cover up a number plate? Just why?
No one's going to clone it.
Pointless. No.
How many blue Cerberus are there around there for someone to pull into a petrol station and drive off without paying for fuel?
Right. Exactly. Sorry.
Okay,
carry on.
so next choice. So I like the eccentricity of the front. Like, it's got a really cool curve to it. Okay, so let's have a look at the Aston Martin DBS. Oh, that is a Slytherin car if ever I saw one. But it is undeniably cool and sleek. We'll definitely make an impression when we fly into Hogwarts. And then we've got the James Bond car, Aston Martin, which does also look very cool. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give it to Duncan's Aston Martin DBS, I think. George was very, very close. But yeah, I think we can all agree this car looks very sleek, very cool. Not so much eccentric, but when you look at on the inside, it does have the cool marbling effect. So I'm going to give that a little tick. Yeah, but well done, Duncan. You win the Crack the Whip round. So let's get the Aston Martin DBS. Jump in. We'll have to explain Harry's bank situation later. And let's fly over to Hogwarts. So smash cut to after the Whomping Willow has had a go at it, and we've had that awkward conversation with Harry. Now for the round bottom of the bucket, of course, we've befriended good old Hagrid, and Hagrid has a bike. In fact, he had a Triumph 650 T120 Bonneville, I want to say. A very classic bike. I know you guys are car guys, but for any
Got two
bike
wheels, I don't care.
people out there. But yeah, so his bike's been trashed. He wants a car instead now, and we're going to help good old Hagrid choose his car. Now, Hagrid doesn't have a big budget. Equivalent from Sickles and Galleons, it's just £600.
Okay.
So for £600 or less, and Hagrid would prefer it if it was less, you're going to find a car that is suitable for Hagrid. So let me just read you a brief physical description of Hagrid, and I would like you to find me a car from Auto Trader that matches this description for £600 or less. So he was almost twice as tall as a normal man and at least 5 times as wide. He looked simply too big to be allowed, and so wild. Long tangles of bushy black hair and beard hid most of his face. He had hands the size of trash can lids, and his feet in the leather boots were like a baby dolphin's. Okay, so given that description, you must find me a car to suit Hagrid for less than £600.
So, a mini then.
Yes.
Okay.
No, don't get a mini. That will not make you.
That
You will
won't
lose.
do.
That won't do. It is simply
Oh,
not
yeah,
allowed.
I do think that'll do.
I shouldn't have said
Which
that.
budget?
I shouldn't have said that.
He should have sold some more things he shouldn't have already owned.
Oh, he's not going to sell his dragon eggs. They're priceless.
I think I found it.
Already? Wow. That was quick.
Oh my god. I just found an amazing car.
I was going to say
Well-
that in the link that I sent you.
No. Oh, that's disappointing. It doesn't have a. Oh. Okay, I'm going to save that one, but that's not going to work for Hagrid. I
Should we
found a
have
car that was
Yep.
in Alfieda's and Pet.
Oh, really?
And in their advert, they've got a screen grab of the episode of Alfieda's Own Pet with this car in it.
What, like the exact same car?
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna share this with the chat just because it's not going to cause any major problems.
I say
There
it's
we go.
interesting. I think I've seen one episode of Advita Same Pet.
Yeah, most people are not going to know what the hell I'm talking about.
I was
But
gonna say,
not
I've
only
never
is
watched it.
not only is it a Vauxhall Omega, which is immediately amazing car, but look, they've got a screen grab from an episode of Alfieda's and Pet with this car in it. How amazing is that?
I feel like, do you know, I feel like you're totally nerding out over this, and I feel like I'm like, good on you. You found a thing you like.
But you can buy a bit of TV history for £500. How amazing is that?
Well, apparently, speaking of like TV history and like cars, like that Ford Anglia, when I looked it up, with all those specs, it said if you bought it new, it would be £495, which doesn't sound right to me. Like, obviously not the car from the movie, but if you just bought any old Ford Anglia new, it'd be quite cheap.
Well, yeah, but it's like 8 years old. So
Yeah.
it's old money, isn't it?
Well, speaking of £495, this Volkswagen Sharon is exactly £495. Is this George's choice? Or John's
No, this
choice?
is John's choice.
Okay.
I've gone with the Vauxhall Charan. Mostly
Walk
because
me through
of
your process.
size. Hagrid is
Okay.
massive, which is why he rides a bike, because he won't fit in most cars. Whereas with this one, you can start stripping the interior out to make some space for him.
Good.
Yeah.
Is that a 7-seater?
It is. Well, it is in some trims. I don't. Oh no, yeah, this one's a seven jobby, so you can take the first seat out, so you can sit in the back row, operate the controls, while still having space for Harry to cling on to dear life, because this will be as exciting as being on the back of Hagrid's motorbike while driving, especially in the snow. Its performance is non-existent, but it's got a large amount of torque, 229 torque, which, I mean, isn't large, but for that it's not bad. Which you'll also need to get Hagrid moving due to his size and therefore weight.
How much horsepower was that again?
Pitifully low. 100 maybe? 115. But this is where you need the torque.
Yeah.
The torque is what's important there because that's what's going to get stuff moving.
Good to know.
139,000 miles. You know, Hagrid's not a spring chicken either, but it is nice and cheap. Will do the job. It's pre-dented, so when Hagrid leans on it, he won't have to feel bad.
Yeah, that's true.
And if he's lucky, he can get. What's the dog called? What's his dog called? He can get his dog in the back as well.
I think,
maybe.
isn't it?
Fluffy.
Fluffy, yeah. Get Fluffy in the back.
No, if it isn't Fluffy the three-headed dog.
Yeah.
Isn't
I
that
know, but
also Hagrid's?
Yeah, he's got another dog called Fang. Because he's got an actual dog, hasn't he?
He could probably fit 2 dogs in here, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Great. Good
there you
choice.
have it.
You thought big and you delivered big. I like it. Who wants to go next?
Not
I'm
me.
happy to present.
Okay, talk me through this one, George.
I present to you the lovely green Yaris Verso, because as you said, Hagrid isn't terribly flush for cash at the moment. So I figured someone else, Yaris is a fantastic economical car. However, they appear to have made a Yaris just for Hagrid. So it appears to be if you take one normal Yaris and chop the roof off, extend it by 2 or 3 feet upwards in all directions and stick it back on, you end up with the Yaris Verso. So,
It's like a van.
I mean, just look at it. Looks like you've taken a normal Yaris and overinflated it somewhat and stretched it upwards. It's not a looker. It almost certainly isn't a sprightly 1.3 litres in Hagrid. I think his best bet's going to be just take the driver's seat out, sit on the back.
Ooh, 85 horsepower.
Yeah,
85 horsepower, look at that. And it's a very square thing, so you can just imagine his shoulders hunched up. You might have to cut a bit of a hatch in the ceiling for his head, but the rest of him will be quite snug and comfy in there.
You've got the
Possibly
speedo
too
that you
snug.
can see from wherever in the car as well, which will be helpful.
I like it's a nice kind of forest green as well, as he quite likes spending time in the Forbidden Forest and all.
So it will camouflage. The Whomping Willow wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
Could sneak through. It's got, I think, quite low thievability. So if you like visiting some slightly some more dodgy areas to park it, I think it would be resolutely where he left it when he came back.
True.
That's a good defense. Have a really ugly car, and then no one will steal it. It's perfect.
But it just appears to be it's an economical small car for the larger person.
Yeah. Good choice. Well
Very sensible.
sold. Absolutely.
And you could pretend to be the Pope if needs be as well.
I think you could also put a mini, use it as a mini hearse or something as well with those windows in the back.
It's not a vehicle blessed by good looks or happy proportions or anything like that, really.
Does it say a lot about Hogwarts that their groundskeeper drives potentially a hearse only big enough for kids?
No, Ofsted, do not come and inspect us, please. Thank you very much.
I mean, without giving away spoilers, you could definitely pile on a few kids back there.
Well, I reckon I could probably fit 6 kids. I got 5 in last week, so I don't see why I couldn't get 6 in this week. Probably a bit more wiggle room back there.
I'm just imagining this comic sketch where Hagrid's trying to hide all the children and Ofsted are looking around.
So are we sticking to the curriculum here? Oh, yeah. I don't see. There's nothing. There's definitely. We're sticking to the curriculum. That's for sure. There's definitely no dead children around here or anything like that.
We clean up regular.
We clean up regular.
So great. That's revealed 1 or 2 aspects of Hagrid's jobs that he has to do around Hogwarts. Duncan, what have you chosen?
Okay, so I was going to go with a car. I was going to go with this car until I realised it doesn't work. So instead,
Like
I had to
all
go.
A4s.
Yeah, I had to go back to a drawing board instead. Instead, I've gone for a much better car. So
So
it's
didn't go
it's
for the
in
Audi A4.
no, it's in for the same vein though, which is why I've showed you this one, so you can see my thought
Okay.
process here.
Okay.
It's
So
not headroom.
I've gone for
that's
this
good
instead.
thinking. Oh yes.
So I've gone for a 1.6 luxury street car in a lovely shade of, what do we call that? Pink.
Bobby Pink.
Electric
Yeah.
pink.
Electric
Puce.
pink, chartreuse. What is chartreuse? Is that a colour?
I thought it was a
Probably.
drink.
I got no idea. Anyway, yeah, so it's a lovely pink street car. So as you can see, my thought process here is that it's convertible. Hagrid doesn't mind spending a lot of time in the outdoors. There's absolutely no problem with him being outdoors. And trying to fit his frame into a car is going to be a problem. So he might as well just buy a convertible, put the roof down, and then just live with it with the roof down the entire time. So the streetcar is particularly good in this respect because if I scroll along, you can see there's a nice flat bed at the back that the roof folds into. So once the roof is folded down, he's got a nice area to sit in at the back. He can pop his legs over the front seat down onto the pedals, and then he can just use his arms on the steering wheel.
I
Yeah,
can just see that as well.
yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, like, look at all that space he's got to sit with his coat. He could probably even have Fang sat in the passenger seat or something. Do you know what I mean?
Just chilling together, really.
Yeah, it's basically those little pedal cars that you got as a kid. It's like one of those, but for Hagrid. The performance of this is highly impressive. It is. It's 94 horsepower and 100 pounds of torque, 12 seconds to 60. So yeah, it's really, really impressive.
Duncan, can you just go back over the specs?
No.
again?
I
Sorry.
definitely need to see that. I think we're fine. I don't think we need to see the specs again.
I simply insist that we look at the specifications a teeny bit
All right.
longer.
So
just
it's
so
94 horsepower and just 100 pound-foot of torque if we round up.
Okay, cool.
But
Great.
that's a perfectly acceptable amount. It's more than George's has got, that's for sure. With its paltry, what was it, 80? 85 and 91. Yeah, rubbish. So this will be faster than George's car. Plus Hagrid, being quite a forgetful sort, won't forget where he's parked his car.
Yeah, that's true. It's very bright, and I know it was more for the first round, but it is eccentric. And as we know, the Wizarding World wear very bright, vibrant clothes. I can imagine Hagrid impressing one or two school officials with his brightly coloured car. So
also, if his half brother from his giant mother comes to stay, if he buys a second one,
brother
then
from a giant mother.
yeah, because he's got a giant mother, doesn't he?
Duncan,
and he's
I've just sent you a link.
have you? But yeah, if he comes to stay, then all he has to do is buy another one of these, and that guy's got a pair of roller skates.
Yeah, that's true. I really love the imagery of Hagrid putting the roof down, and then like this giant man just hanging out of this pink car.
Just share this link with me. Oh God, so many. Let me just put reader mode on because it's just going to be awful otherwise. There you go, reader mode. A tall man who drove a small convertible with his head and shoulders poking above a roofline has been banned from a road after being told to look like the big friendly giant in Noddy's car. Yeah, this is
Look at the car.
It's a street car.
Look
Yeah,
at what car it is.
Published in January 24th, 2017. So Adam Elliott, who is 6'7", caused a dangerous distraction to other motorists due to the unusual sight of him driving his tiny Ford car.
Can you imagine when this is Hagrid and the car's hot pink? I just
quote
thought, yeah.
I like his quote
imagery,
here. I
this-
couldn't fit in a car. I was too tall. Adam Elliott.
2020.
I mean, it's a car. I mean, if that's the car you've got to drive in, then that's the car you've got to drive in, isn't it? Like, what are they going to do? I can't understand. Why would they ban him just for driving a car that's unsuited for him?
This is really tricky now because I'm looking at all three choices, and you've all gone for a very slightly different angle, but all very good angles. So, starting with John's Volkswagen Sharon, It is a big car, and Hagrid is a big person, and he can really just chuck so many seats out and put all his, pets and knickknacks in the back. And I could definitely see him getting practical use out of that car. George's Toyota Yaris Verso can double up as a hearse for all the unfortunate children in Hogwarts, which also has practicality.
Multi-purpose vehicle.
But I've got to say, just the sheer imagery of Hagrid poking out the top of the Ford streetcar is just too funny, and it's bright pink as well. So he'll grumble about it, but he can at least take the roof down, and his giant body can stick out top. So I'm gonna vote for the Ford streetcar. So Duncan, you win the
Amazing
whip round.
Thank you. I deserve that.
Well deserved for that
Only thing a
fight.
Ford KA's ever won.
Yeah, but good choices, everyone. Just the hilarious imagery alone has
Can
won
I just say that for £500, that would be a hilarious gag present for someone.
I don't know, mate. I once dated a girl that had one of those, and she went in the back of someone. She phoned the insurance, and they went, "Oh no, it's written off."
Oh yeah,
And we were like,
that doesn't surprise me.
And we were like, "Hang on, but we're at the side of the road. Like, you've not seen the car." And they went, "No, it's a Ford KA.
It's written off."
But because it's written off, we won't recover you, and we won't send somebody to pick you up.
Yeah, bastards, aren't they?
And we were just like, "What? We're just on the motorway services." And they're like, "Yeah, you'll have to just phone a taxi or something." And we're like, "We're 400 miles away from home."
So
they're like, "Yeah, but your car's written off, so you don't get any support."
So what
We
have
were
they paid
just
you
like,
for? Yeah, what's the point of me having insurance? Why did you even offer me insurance on this car if you're not going to bother trying to insure it when I actually have a problem? But yeah, I like the KA. The KA is quite a tidy little chassis. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the KA.
Not even a bright vomit pink coloured one.
You know what? If
if you're vomiting that colour, like you need to get that checked out seriously.
Got
You've been
blobbyitis.
Yeah, I would drive that car. If it was the only thing I had available, I would drive that car, and I would just own the fact that it was bright pink. Because
Go bold. Go bold
Yeah.
or go home, and that's definitely bold.
yeah, exactly. And when someone laughs at you, you go, "Yeah, but this only cost me £500."
You're reasonably tall, aren't you, Duncan? How high?
Yeah.
How
Oh, my head would definitely poke out the top of that. I would have to go topless almost the entire time.
topless?
And then I'd take the car down
just
as
to
well,
draw
yeah.
more attention.
Interesting. As you say, go bold or go home.
Yeah.
Great. So, Duncan, you won that round of bottom of the bucket. So, congratulations.
Yay.
Our final round is the eBay Spectaculaire, in which you need to look on eBay for an item. And in this case, we're going back to our winning car, the Aston Martin DBS. Oh, gosh, Duncan, I just realised you're on 5.
No,
First
I didn't
two
want to say
rounds.
anything to jinx it.
Well, let's see if you can do a hat trick. I would like you guys to find me something to stick on our Aston Martin DBS. I want to say to warn off trees. I don't know, just to kind of show we're the new kids on the block. We're joining Hogwarts School. So maybe something to show that we're competent wizards. Interpret that any way you want. How much do we have left after spending most of Harry's cash? How much was the Aston Martin DBS? It was quite expensive, wasn't it?
It was quite expensive. I'm going to look it up again because I've lost the...
I think it was just shy of the Harry's bank account. So
it was, yeah.
Let's just say £100. So something to establish us in the wizarding world, preferably to go on or in your car. But if it's good, just show me it. So £100 go. So I'm thinking, like, in terms of angle again, maybe something bright, maybe something unquestionably magical. Maybe I don't know. Be creative.
I've got just the thing.
Yeah. Oh wow,
Definitely
that's
be useful
quick.
for Ron from time to time.
What spine? Way.
Ah, not Ron. Apparently,
Hold on.
J.K. Rowling wanted Ron to be a lot more sweary in the books, and
No, she
the
fucking didn't.
publishers, yeah, and the publishers were like, "No, this is gonna be a children's book."
Do you understand Child Ren? Well,
Child
it's
Ren. What
Child
is
Ren.
Child Ren?
That is how you say it, isn't it? Your human Child Ren.
Oh wow. Is this your choice, George?
I'm waiting for
Yeah.
explanation on this one, George, because this is you better have a good explanation for this one because I'm very
So
confused right now.
first off, we've been discussing bright. They're certainly bright.
Yeah.
Now, when I chose them, I'd not realised they were arseless, but you know, you work with what you've got here.
Oh yeah, that's true. George has got some arseless chaps.
Especially for Ron as well.
So when you're trying to, obviously, as you're an impressive wizard or of course witch, and you're trying to impress your
Ooh.
mates, you're going to be using spells. Which might not be good.
Touch toes.
So the best thing to have under your robes, I reckon, are some welding trousers.
Yeah. Makes
What
sense.
more
So
could
is
you-
that what scenario are you thinking of in particular, George, in terms of like when you'd need these welding trousers most?
Yeah, any cowboy impersonations? They are just the
Yeah.
parties of a specialist nature. I think they would be just the ticket.
I'm thinking more of a situation where, like, I don't know, Harry's like, "Oh, good job! I was wearing my welding trousers, fireproof flame trousers, Ron."
So obviously, dragon handling is going to be a key use case.
Yeah.
It depends if Ron ever bothered to buy a new wand. Have he still got that backfiring one? Now these could be a lifesaver, or at least a marriage saver.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's true. You duel, and so if someone, when you're dueling, like, does a firebolt towards you, you're somewhat protected in the most important region.
Just tell everyone they're made of dragon skin and look really cool, and never pretend they came off eBay.
Yeah.
That's what I do anyway with most stuff I buy off eBay.
Okay. That's super good. Wait, Duncan, you tell everyone your stuff is made from dragon skin.
Yeah, or some like unobtainium material. It's just yeah, I definitely didn't buy it for £15 off eBay.
Yep. See this jumper? Dragon skin.
Yeah, it's dragon skin, yeah.
Mithril, as we call it.
I have an option. I'm gonna have to put a little bit of money in myself, but I do have an option.
All right, better be good.
I mean, I did pick
It better be assless.
two winners, so I thought this can go in the back window of our Aston Martin.
Please
this is a neon-
explain in detail what this is, Duncan.
So this is a 19 by 15 inch. This is where the magic happens. Neon sign, light, handcraft, artwork, decor. For £129.60 of your British pennies. So yeah, it's a neon sign that presumably has a plug on the end that I can find a 12-volt adapter for. But yeah, we could just chuck this in the back window of the Aston Martin, and you'd have a beautiful black Aston Martin with a neon sign in the back that says "This is where the magic happens," which is true because we're wizards.
Yep.
But also, if you're a muggle, it's easy to convince them that it's just yeah, we do other stuff with this Aston Martin. I'm going to leave that up to you as to what that stuff is.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, when we take people to whatever the Hogwarts equivalent is of make out point.
You just flick it on.
Just flick it on. I don't know if they'll be running a mile after that or if they'll stick around. But
See, I was thinking if you hung that off the back of George with his assless chaps.
really, we need to find a way to combine the two.
Yes.
Um,
Well, George is buying those assless chaps anyway, isn't he? So let's be honest. So he's going to buy those anyway. We'll end up buying this sign.
I've already got a few pairs. All right.
Yeah.
Keller.
Gosh, rule 34 on the internet must be going crazy at this moment in time. John, what have you selected?
So mine's an odd one.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
hoping the
and those
pictures-
weren't.
Well, yeah. Mine's a bag of cold spark titanium powder. Because I'm thinking,
Okay.
when the car's flying, if you go to the second picture, if you sprinkle some of this on the exhaust,
Mm.
you should end up with something that could look quite cool.
Yeah, you get bright white sparks coming out the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the
And,
picture. Can you go to the second eBay picture, Duncan?
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Oh, I can't see it on mine.
Oh wait,
Still
hold on.
just
Sorry, I'm clicking. I've got it open in two windows. I'm clicking on the wrong window.
yeah. There you go.
Fucking-
so it's like a Roman candle effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can have that coming out the exhaust while you're flying on. I thought that'd look pretty cool. I thought, you'd arrive with some pizzazz with the sound, and the sparks, and
That's pretty good.
everyone will
That's
be
pretty
like,
good.
that's pretty magical.
Can I
That's
say
very
that-
magical, actually.
It's 15 to 20 minutes of runtime. That's pretty impressive. 15 to 20 minutes.
And
of
it's something like
sparks.
20 quid a bag as well, so you can
Yeah.
just
I think you do have
Go
to have a
nuts.
machine to put it in, but I'm sure if you just fed it into like the exhaust manifold or something like that, it'll be fine.
just sprinkle it on the exhaust tips. They get pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I can also think of a practical side of this. Like, so if you're getting chased by Death Eaters and they're on a broom, then you can kind of do this to kind of like throw them off a little bit.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I really like that. And as you say, you only get one shot at first impressions. And I'm sorry, George, but I don't think arseless chaps is the way to go for.
Well, welding trousers, please.
Oh yeah,
Welding
sorry,
trousers.
welding trousers. So yeah, I think that might cause the wrong impression. This is where the magic happens. It is quite over budget, and I think I would say there's a 50-50 chance it could, make people laugh and be on our side and be our friends, and it can just make people scoff, and cringe and everything. I do like the humor, but I do worry that it will be misinterpreted. So this eBay Spectacular round goes to John with his titanium powder granules, so that we
Damn
can
it.
enter Hogwarts with some pizzazz.
I was so close to a Gryffindor clean sweep as well.
Yeah, but you've just missed the snitch, unfortunately.
I missed it. It was a hex. Someone put a hex on me.
Oh, that's what they all say
Yeah.
when they lose, probably. So yeah, well done, John. You that I really like that. That's super creative. So anyway, we must be taking the Hogwarts Express back home. So until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye then.
Bye.
Oh yeah, by the way, this was Autograzers. Now fuck off.
Fuck off.
Why would I be so hostile?
Get back to class.
and that's how I ended up naked in the embassy.
Most delightful story, young Donovan.
Indubitably.
Great. And on that note, hello and welcome to Autograzers, a pod show.
It's all right. You can start again because I had beer in my moustache, so I was trying to get it out of my moustache.
I didn't hear you go.
Job done.
Made it all this way without doing a bad Alan Rickman impression.
Oh, that's a good point. Boy, I mean, you've still got time. I haven't hit stop recording yet.
What does he say in the thing again?
Potions.
Potion.
Potions.
You've been really bad, Potter.
Tom, funny you should mention fan fiction there because so
I always mention it every conversation.
Yeah, every week. So Harry Potter obviously has its fair share of fan fiction, but
You don't say.
on some of my early dates with my fiance, we used to sit in a park and read fan fiction because it was quite funny to each other.
Yeah, it is funny.
Now, I came across a fan fiction which was about it was a Harry Potter based fan fiction, so it was in the world of Harry Potter, but it didn't involve any of the main characters of the franchise. It involved the Hogwarts Castle and the squid from a lake.